Nyege Nyege is an irresistible and sudden urge to dance in Luganda, a language of the Bantu family. But it has also become the name of a particularly creative music collective created in 2014 in Uganda. It has cradled African artists who are now recognized around the world while giving birth to a renowned festival of electronic music, which is currently being held about 100 kilometers from Kampala. This summer, the festival made a very remarkable first stop over in Paris. We had been to meet the organizers and artists who bring this African underground music to life. Take a listen. A new cultural space north of Paris, an audience in trance, and all the energy of the East African musical underground. It was an unprecedented meeting this summer between the Nyege Nyege festival, which had just arrived from Kampala, and Parisian electro music fans. First real European tour for a young festival born in 2015, which has become a great reference on the continent in only a few years and which aims to become popular among the diaspora who came in great numbers.
It's the first time I've come to the Nyege Nyege festival. Frankly, I'm very happy with the festival. I say thank you very much to the Nyege Nyege collective and the artists. I'm very happy that it is the first time.
Like Hassan, a Sudanese who arrived in Paris 4 years ago, festival goers are not mistaken. Far from being just another festival, Nyege Nyege is first and foremost a collective of artists. It was born in Kampala in the wake of small parties organized after film screenings.
These evenings have grown and the whole public has gravitated around them. It has formed a collective in the broader sense, in the sense that everyone supports each other, encourages each other. And we have a creative space that allows for risk-taking, which we don't often find. Sometimes you have to pay to put your music on the radio, pay to put your music on television.
The East African alternative musical culture is African and in a quite precarious state immediately finds its interest here. A recording studio and an artist residence attract talents, and many flocking to this residence are women. The collective is giving wings to a whole generation of female DJs and rising stars, such as Turkana.
I think for me the most interesting thing is like the community or the process of learning, like being surrounded by so many different artists doing different sounds, and like meeting them is so inspirational because you get to listen to patterns you've never listened to, but also it's like an exchange kind of thing. Everybody inspires the other person, so it leads to a new creation of like new sounds, I guess, because Nyege has a studio back home and there's so many artists like from Kenya, Congo, Uganda, Sudan. So everybody's like doing something different, but in the same space, and you could collaborate. So it's like your mind automatically just gets inspired being surrounded by artists.
Collective spirit prevails in the creative process and the mixing of different influences from contemporary sounds to the African musical tradition.
I just create different stuff. I can create techno. So like as an artist, you leave your brain and then you create. But I also think, it's important for like African artists to like reference to traditional patterns or traditional sounds, let's say, sample them and make like a new sound, because it's important to represent who you are, but I don't think it should be limiting to your creativity, so I think as personally I do both of it. Like I do tracks where I'm actually inspired and I'm sampling like sounds like from Pojulu or like East African sounds. I sample them, and then I also create tracks where I'm not like, I'm just working with whatever, So, yeah, I think the duality of both is incredible. Yeah.
We don't want to present an image of a certain Africa. We want to decompartmentalize the idea that we can have of Africa through a super diverse proposal. So we can go from traditional music to metal to hip-hop to music from South Africa, Mali and Egypt to surprise people so that they say, well, the idea I had of Africa was small.
Pushing back the African cliché and propelling the diversity of music, talents and audiences, the arrival of the Nyege Nyege Festival has ticked all the boxes. The idea is to create spaces of freedom where everyone can meet, and Nyege Nyege is exactly that. It is exactly a space where everyone can meet. So all communities, all ages, all origins. All this does not prevent Nyege Nyege magic from spreading but also remaining grounded. Behind it, there's also the creation of labels, the search for recognition and lucrative opportunities for the collective of artists. They have already 250 representations per year all over the world. Clearly, the Nyege Nyege ecosystem needs to assert itself out of Africa, and Paris already seems to embrace their cause.